Subsetsor. Okay, so here's what I did. Particle system. I kind of still have a little bit of an issue with it following, but or maybe I don't know. But it's still a particle system. I disabled the inherit velocity and just used the script. Kind of the same thing I was doing yesterday. But it seems like if I take this out, like if I disable if I don't enable the velocity over time every frame, then it goes janky again. And this. So it is what it is, I guess. I don't know if it's a Unity bug. Probably not. It's probably me. And then well, I did have a fire zombie. He doesn't do anything yet besides sit there and smoke. You know? So I'm thinking when a zombie becomes a fire zombie, that they just kind of run maybe a random circle. And when they complete that circle, they explode. But so random circle meaning a random point on that circle is chosen. And that is where they'll run. So if it's over here, then they start by going up and around. But if it's here, then they start by going around, down. So I need to write a whole script for that guy. But I think once they're on fire, they're immune to everything. Like they're going to die in a couple seconds after they complete their little circle. Create a script. This will be zombie and chard. How do I want to call this guy? Like fire zombie? Burning? It's not going to be the only one, right? Because there will be instances of like a tank zombie that's on fire and so forth. That just kind of like gave me a lot more stuff to do. But it's okay. I still got a year and 7 months. Right? May, June, July, August, September, October. 5 months. A year and 5 months. I'm going to go October of 2027. I don't think I can get October of this year. Okay, so that's base zombie. So let's rename this zombie. Oh, some of them have like an underscore. That makes sense. Burned. Okay, I'm gonna delete this one. Is it too? I can rename it, right? Right. I can just go in and rename the class inside the file. Otherwise, Unity has a fit, and that's so stupid. Okay, so this guy gets this script. No, I don't have a running down animation for him. I only have one animation. Walking, chasing. Is he chasing or is he walking? His arms are out, so I will call that chasing. And then dying sprites. Should I put the explosion in there? Crud. This goes first, and then this. 5, 4, 3. Why is it in that order? Is it the order I cut it in? And I'll probably end up making another explosion, including like green in there for the zombie guts. It kind of makes my my barrel of fire not look as cool. Okay, so now on start, we pick a random angle. Start angle. I don't know the math to traverse through an arc at a given speed. I might need to Google something. Math. Traverse around a circle at a given speed. Yeah, it's kind of what I need, right? An object travels a distance of 35 feet in a 2.7 second as it moves along a circle of radius 2 feet. Find a linear angle linear and angular speed over that time period. Is it going to give me the answer? Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. I should be like, in C sharp, please. R1 equals 5 centimeters. And C sharp. Oh, Copilot's gonna chime in. Sup, Meg? How you doing? Were you not on yesterday? Like when I was done streaming, I tried to go to your stream, but it wasn't there. So I know that this needs to be a part of it. Angular speed equals speed divided by circumference times 2 times pi. And then that gives me radians per second. So I times that times time dot delta time. Oh, you did your little thing. Okay. That would explain why that dad dev, he hung out on my stream yesterday. So if I'm gonna do, should I do radians? And how do I know that I've traversed the whole way around the circle? Because I'm looking out and at the same point, right? He gave me a shout out. I missed it. Was it on your stream? I still don't think he followed me. He just randomly appeared. Okay, so public float. This is not end angle, this is add angle. So here I can tell if I've gone 180 degrees or not. And I will use degrees. Man, some of this NES music on this one is kind of annoying. Tick Master? I don't recall that game. Okay, so start angle degrees equals random dot range. So anywhere between 0 and 360. It's that's what I was listening to that I said was annoying. Kick Master. Oh, you know what that is? Is that the Castlevania-esque, but you can only kick? Yeah, you have kicks. You have low kick and high kick. Maybe jump kick too. Imagine basing your game around one fighting mechanic. Okay, so that I've got that. Okay, so on update, I need to say that I need a sprite renderer. Or does Zombie have the sprite renderer? I need to open up that class before I start doing things I shouldn't be. So register Zombie and then do some stuff. So if he's going to get registered, then I need to remember that when the zombie becomes a burning zombie, the original needs to be. You think there's a kick game but 3D? Not aware. There's probably, oh, I know what you're talking about. The first person shooter, but you have like a boot and you like kick. I know what you're talking about. Like Wolfenstein, but you have a foot. I don't like that the Discord has a little red ring. I'm in too many dang Discord channels. Okay, so it's going to do this thing where it's got its own action. Does register zombie take a zombie class? It does. So maybe it's not a zombie. Yep. Wait, is it that? Yeah, I mean, it looks familiar, but at the same time, I didn't think the graphics were this good. Angry Foot. Yeah, okay, it is. Does Duke Nukem use a foot when he hits? Is that an option? You don't think so? You can get stepped on if you get shrunk. So, man, should Burning Zombie be a zombie class? If all it's going to do is go do a loop and explode. Yes. Let's have a little bit of discipline, I guess, and make that so. Okay, so it does have a sprite render. It does have the rigid body. The tricky thing is going to be, too, is that he's going to have all these states that he's not going to use. However, that's fine, right? Because if I just have an update here and I don't do a base, then I can just do whatever I want to do, right? Yes. So sprite renderer dot sprite equals chasing sprite, and this is environment dot zombie walk frame. While I'm here, I'm going to change that whole thing real quick. So zombie walk frame is a number between is 0 and then 1, then 0 and 1. So I'm going to rename this, and it's going to be number 0 to 1. Incremental 0 to 1, like that. And then I'm going to rename this too, because I plan on having not only a 0 to 1, but a 0 to 2 and a 0 to 3 that I can use over and over again. And this is only, as silly as it sounds, for optimization. The job system doesn't need to do anything to time the frame delay when it's all done at the same time in the environment. But that also means that, timer. That also means that all zombies that are the same, that uses the same variable, have the same frame at all times. Incremental 0 to 1. Okay, maybe. We'll see. I did something similar in the second hardest game I ever made, where there was a universal timer that kept track of the distance between 0 and 1, and that's how they knew how far they needed to travel, so they didn't like overlap each other or anything like that. If I just run that, will he have an error? There's a lot of garbage that he's just not going to use, unfortunately. That's a negative. Oh, because I also, yeah, I have chasing sprites, but object reference not set to an instance of an object. Of course, it's the burning one. What is not set? Oh, I have to go and do base.start. Otherwise, I won't get my sprite renderer. Yep, so his legs are moving. He's not throwing errors down here. Okay, so what is the radius of the circle going to be? I don't want to calculate that every time, and I don't have to. So also float. And using Unity Mathematics, geometry? Who has math.py? Surely it's nope. I guessed. It was a 50-50 shot. Float, and I need to just take these out. Not it. How you doing? So I need a speed variable, and do I have anything in zombie? Chase speed. So I'm going to steal this. Cannot convert type double to float. Is math.py double? Oh, it is. That's sad. And then radius. So let's make these private, although they are private. And then private float radius. And this is going to be, so what is a radius? The distance around. It has a diameter and then radius, then circumference. Okay. So we'll try 6. We'll see what happens. I need to make it say unity.random, unityengine.random. And again, float that. So that gives me those, and then I can say angular speed now once I set the speed. Chasing speed is going to be, for now it'll be 2. That's kind of slow, but that'll work for now. And then and I think this is radians, right? Angular speed would be in radians. We'll see. So add degrees plus equals angular speed times chase speed. And then float x equals, oh, so once I figure out the angle at which I start, I also need to figure out where the center is. So that's going to be a vector 2. Center. So here, center equals the opposite angle so center dot x equals, oh, you're so close to being right. If it's 0, Why does it know? Oh, well, it doesn't know everything. Times radius divided by 2. And this is in degrees, so this is times math f. Oh. Okay, okay. Degrees to radians, and same thing here. I had a brain fart. This doesn't need to be cast into a float because I have math f, which has it. Same thing here. Okay, so this is the center based on the angle that I decided to start at. So nu x equals, and I kind of sent him towards the destination. Okay, we'll see. Nu x equals, again, math f dot, so I said sine x is yeah. Times time dot delta time. Cosine. So we start at our original angle, start angle. Oops. Plus add angles. And this whole thing is going to be multiplied by math f dot degrees to radians. Plus center x. It's actually center x plus that plus radius divided by 2. Center y plus that, start angle plus add angle times math f dot degrees to radians plus radius divided by 2. And now he needs to go there. So because he travels at that speed as well, should I just send him there? Like, move him? And this needs to be transformed dot position plus. Or minus, I don't remember which. One thing is for sure, something weird will happen, or something cool will happen. And then I'm just going to do this real quick. Transform dot position equals vector 2 no x to y. And so here, he should just go around in circles. He's got no collider, so everything should be fine. He's over here, and he went from here to there, and then he just kind of stayed there. So nothing cool happened. So why not? Center X, center Y plus that times that. This is times. This is you have to multiply it by this number. Yeah, I did that up here. Why didn't I do it the second time? Oh, he's getting shot at. But he doesn't have a collider, right? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he's moving, isn't he? But very, very slowly. So, two things. The radius is too big. Two. Maybe, yeah. Why does he seem to go so far out? Transform position plus this, which is a number between 0 and 1, times that. Oh. So am I, this needs to be a minus. Because I was kind of doubling it up. Okay, and then his speed is super slow. I'm using Chase Swan Link. Final Fantasy? I know I have to use the time.delta time. Do I not use chase speed here? There we go. So I'm not digging how the flames are, he's like leaving a trail of flames like that. So I'm gonna try, oops, let's stop. And change from world to local. Yeah, here it is. So now he needs a collider, and on trigger enter, he needs to explode when it's a targetable or a survivor type. Circle collider. And I'm going to raise this up here. Like that. And it's a trigger. Does it need to be a trigger? It can be a solid, right? One thing I want to do is if transform.position.y is less than new y, and I'll figure out some offset there too, but if it's less than, greater than, well, it doesn't matter, then sprite render dot flip x is false. True here, false here, sorry. I think. Else. Sprite render dot flip x equals true. So he should be looking in the direction that he's running now. Congratulations, my first ban of the day. He's going wrong. Oh, sorry. It's kind of like only turning at the top and bottom, not at the left and right. I need to do a public virtual void to make the current member override that implementation. Use the override keyword. Oh, so can I public override take damage? What am I overriding? Oh, targetable. That's because I said Y instead of X. Now let's see. It's much better. All right. Maybe the circle should be a little bit bigger. Not by much, though. Okay. And then, just to make sure there isn't on trigger enter or on collision stay, on collision enter, surely there's a okay. So I wonder if I can have an on collision stay. And have it override the on collision stay of the other method of the other class. Sorry. Private void on collision enter 2D. And then I did have this try get component for survivor. I didn't have one for targetable, but I will. So this basically, if I run into a survivor, I'm going to explode, and then I'm going to apply damage to the survivor. Or do I get a list of all the survivors and apply damage accordingly? Yeah. Okay. How do I do this? Bool do explosions equals false. So here I can say do explosions equals true. And then targetable if collision dot game object dot try get component out targetable do explosion equals do explosion or true. Or no, I can just say it equals true here too, right? If do explosion is false. I might want to do solids as well. We don't have to though, because we'll just kind of run in place. guard clause in the middle of the method. So now I need an I enumerator. Do death explosion. And yes, okay. Start coroutine, do death explosion. So I also need a variable for private bull is exploding. It's false. That. Oh, okay. It's that guy. I received notifications on purpose. Update. If is exploding is true, then we return. And we also need to do a environment dot, oh, this is supposed to go down here. Unregister zombie, this. Yield return null. And then we start doing the explosion. So for int I equals 0, while I is less than, what was the dying animation? Dying animation dot which one of these is a list of dying sprites? Dot count I plus plus. And then here I'll yield a return new wait for seconds. 0 point, probably just like 1. Sprite render dot sprite equals dying sprites I. And then destroy everything. So we just destroy the game object. And then here, somewhere in here, I will do like a if y equals 3 or something, somewhere in the middle of the explosion. That's when I'll apply the damage to everything around it. So update. If do angle degree, or add angle degrees. It's greater than 360. We've made one full loop. Then we start to coroutine. Do death explosion. Okay, so dump link. I think the particle system needs to be pre-warmed. Is that a thing? It is a thing. Where's it at? Pre-warm. That way he's already emitting particles. And then there is a damage type. Go to definition. Okay. Yes, so now there's a shot, a scratch, a bite, an explosion. I need fire. So when the flamethrower hits a zombie, it does a damage type of fire. Is that a capital F? Yeah, okay. Why did it look like the other one? Oh, shot was a capital S. Okay. So fire. And now, I think the next course of action might not be to do this. There's a way, I think, to get a callback when a particle collides with something else. So let's learn about that. Unity, particle system, collision callback. In Unity, you can use the on-particle collision method and the triggers module to handle particle collision callbacks effectively. So there's a collision trigger module. There is. Inside, outside, enter, exit, wow, radius scale. So does that mean, now that it's just active, that it will die on collision? I said no, right? Because that's a collider. Attach a script to the game object that has the particle system. The script will handle the collision events. Implement the method. Use the particle collision game object other method, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it has to be a particle collision handler. Implement the method. Oh, no. That's just what they called it. Okay. On particle collision, enter. Do I need a reference to the particle system? And it's not a get component. Because it's a child, not a component. Unless I make a projectile flame. And I add it to the particle system, because it's a game object, right? I can just do that. Yes, okay. So how much of this? Private particle system, this and this goes here. So basically that, right? Yeah, I see how particle system isn't used. On collision events is, so we add it to the list and then we handle that list. I'm missing a bracket. Particle collided with blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is good. Do I need to add a collider? Or will it just do it? Collider 1, sphere collider. Wait. Unity is expecting, did I not save it? No, let's save it. Okay, enable the collisions messages. Ensure that send collision message option is enabled in a particle system's collision module. List is empty. I don't know what that is. No component. Sphere collider. Can I make it a circle collider? Oh, no. Oh, wait. Is it just a flame particle system? Flamethrower. I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't need any of it. We'll see. Is it inside callback. Send collision message option is enabled in the particle system's collision module. Oh. There's a collision module. Do I need to worry about triggers then? Okay. Type none transform plane transform 1. Send a message. Do I need a type? I don't even know. Oh, it could be planes or world. Add the triggers module in the particle system. Add the triggers module to manage interactions with colliders. Configure events. You can set up various events such as when a particle enters or exits or stays within a collider. This allows you to trigger specific actions based on particle interactions. For example, you can choose to kill particles when they enter a collider or trigger a callback. I don't know if I want to kill the flame just to call back. Ignore. So we'll do callback on enter. Visual bounds. What's this do? Render the collision bounds of the particle. Okay, cool. And then this should output a message. So I'm not getting anything yet. In the triggers module, you can specify which colliders to interact with and what actions to take when particles collide with them. Oh, so that was that. Was that triggers? Add. Collider 1, collider, I don't know what that means. This is in the scene. Can I just interact with all of them? This is going to suck if this isn't the way I need to go. Collider 1 transform. Yeah, so it's in the thing. I don't want to collide with my own stuffs. Type world 2D collides with everything. Send collision message. Is that what I need to do? This commercial's. It bounces. I don't want to bounce. I think I'll do like maybe an ignore. Can I do that? Like, can I make it a trigger, not a collider? I guess is what I'm thinking. Collision quality high, radius scale, dampen bounce, no. Lifetime loss, maybe. Enable dynamic colliders. Multiply by particle speed, multiply by particle size, send collision. There's nothing here that makes it. What's the difference between? Oh, let's not do that. So if I don't bounce, does it then go straight through? No, just kind of. That's sad. Damn it. And I can't add an offset. What is triggers? Allows you to execute script code based on whether particles are inside or outside the collision shapes. But I have to add collision shapes, and I don't want to do that. So particle system trigger instead of man, it sounds so much like the trigger module, but that's not what I want. And then on particle trigger. On collider, but act like a trigger. Unity's particle trigger module allows you to detect and respond to particle interactions with colliders in your scene. When enabled, Unity calls the on particle trigger callback in attached scripts. Oh. So, okay, let's try it. What the frick is all this stuff? So I'm going to disable that, enable that. Enter is a callback. And then I can basically do the same thing. What's your problem? It has an incorrect signature. Okay, so I just type on particle trigger and let it do its own thing. Are you serious? It has no signature? And there's no overrides? Called when any particles in a particle system meet the conditions in trigger module. How do I know what it triggered with, though? Triggered. Will other game objects get this? It doesn't matter. It's not being triggered. Is there a video? Yeah. Hello? Mm-hmm. Master Unity collisions and triggers, physics. That's not what I want. I want particle system triggers. Unity particle system trigger. Triggering impact particle. Triggering visual effects. Learn particles fast. Everything. Everything. And oh, I thought it was 15-second video. Sasquatch B Studios. Brandon. Creating particles with trails. Spawning particles. Creating particles with sub something. Creating, rotating. That's not everything, Brandon. Okay, so back to how to use Unity particle system trigger module. Unity's particle triggers module allows you to detect and respond to particle interactions with colliders in your scene. When enabled, Unity calls the onParticle trigger callback in attached scripts. Hold on. Get trigger particles inside what though? I don't want to. Giving you access to a list of particles that have entered, exited, or are inside trigger zones. This is useful for effects like particles damaging enemies, collecting items, or triggering secondary effects. Do I have to define the zones? You can tell this is AI because it likes to do that line break. AI seems to be wanting to do a lot lately. So assign one or more colliders in the triggers modules inspector. Can I do that programmatically? Like in update, particle system dot trigger sub emitter? No. Get trigger particles, set trigger particles. Trigger sub emitter. It's a trigger module. Okay. Dot collider count, max collider count. Get set collider. What is this? Sets a collision shape associated with this particle system's trigger. Add collider. Adds a collision component collider. Adds a collision shape associated with this particle system's trigger. So there's no override. Because I'm thinking I can do like environment.allZombies dot select. And how do I do this? Like I don't do this, right? N dot collider. I would have to make a reference to the collider. Or can I do like GameObject.get component collider 2D? Cannot convert from Unity engine component. What do you want? Component collider. Well, that sucks. Okay. can I change the offset of the collider then? Let's look into that. Nope. Okay. Ignore trigger, get collision. Collides with everything. Radius scale. Lifetime loss, max kill. That's a shame, really, because, like, scene tools, visual bounds. If it wouldn't look like that, where it's just kind of off the floor. I wonder if the renderer has anything to do with that. I'll look there next. Renderer. Is there an offset? Cast shadows off. Motion vectors. Sorting. Order. Light probes. Render. Layer mask. Doesn't look like it. Visualize pivot. Pivot. Can the Y be... Oh, that's weird. No flip. Render alignment. View. World. Local. Facing velocity. Oh, so if I change that to world, let's get some music back on. And then I change this. No, okay. I don't know what that was, but. So no offset for the rendering of that. Emission, shape, velocity, limits, lifetime emitter, force. Rotation, external noise. What does dampen do? Does that allow it to go in? No. Visualize bounds. How can I change the bounds? Triggers would be cool if What is collider query mode? Required in order to get collider information when using the particle system get trigger particles script API disabled by default because it has a performance cost. When set to 1, the script can retrieve the first collider in the list that the particle interacts with. Setting to all will return all colliders that the particle interacts with. So let's switch this. Let's get my script back to where I did have that. And this. Just this. What is inside? The name inside does not exist. What are you expecting to get? List particle system particles. Set trigger particles. Particle system PS. I already have a particle system. List inside is that. And then do I... Oh, then I get it and I assign it to that. I see. Still nothing. Okay. I didn't expect anything different. So this isn't getting called at all. Okay, so for the trigger module, how do I get the particles to interact with enemy colliders? Unity will not automatically detect enemies. Enable trigger module. Did it. Enter callback. Yep. Inside callback. Add enemy colliders. And the trigger module, colliders size 0. I think I need that. I don't know what. Oh, is it this? Element 1, capsule collider 2D. Now particles can interact with them. You must manually add colliders. That does not scale for RTS survival games, so instead we do the correct solution. Best practice, use layers. Example layer is enemy. Okay, I can do this. On particle system trigger. I'm like one more night away from like changing the particle system into a custom one. Setzer had already posted some code. On particle system trigger, enable use collider mask. Visual bounds. There is no use collider mask. On particle system trigger. Fancy flame there. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do the trigger. However, it looks like I have to pre-add all of the triggers that it can interact with. And that's not going to be possible. Which then takes me back to the script that you wrote or submitted. I might use that instead. I would have to create a projectile flame object, which is fine. The collision works. However, the collision doesn't have like a offset, so when I use it, when it like as soon as it hits a building, it stops, or it can bounce if I choose to have bounce, but it just looks really bad, like because it's hitting the bottom of the building, and I would love to have an offset for the collider, but there is no such thing there either that I haven't searched for yet. There are 3 correct ways to offset a hit on the y-axis. Use a child object. Yeah, so I'd have to use a trigger. So maybe I use a custom script then for the emitter. So what did you give me? Who's it AI generated? Looks like it. Require type of, why would it require particle system? Or does this do it too? Maybe this isn't a custom. Okay, so that's not what I wanted either. So Unity, particle system, trigger collision, all objects, dynamic objects, dynamic the module. Am I using the right version? Can I go to Unity 6? Okay, the built-in particle system trigger module allows you to access and modify particles based on their interaction with one or more colliders in the scene. For some properties in this section, you can use different modes to set their value. For more information on the modes, see that properties over time. That's weird. Inside specifies the action the particle system takes for particles every frame they are inside a collider. The options are callback, kill, and ignore. Is there a on particle inside? That'd be dumb. On particle collision. I have that. Why doesn't on particle trigger have a thing? Connected? Oh, on particle. must mean it goes here. Oh, inside. I get it now. So this has like a enter. Okay. Feel like I'm getting close. Kill destroys the particle. Ignore ignores the particle. Can I turn around and kill the particle myself, though? Adds a particle to a list, which you can retrieve in the on particle trigger callback. Collider query mode specifies the method this particle system uses to get information about the colliders that particles interact with. This increases the resource intensity of processing the trigger module. So if you don't need any extra collision information, set this property to disabled. Gets information of the first collider, gets information about every collider that each particle interacts with, okay? Oh, enter one to keep the particle colliders the same size and for the event to appear to happen as the particle touches a collider, enter a value less than 1 to make the particle collider smaller and for the trigger to appear to happen, okay? Indicates whether or not to display collider bounds of each particle. Additional resource. To begin, specify which colliders in the scene the particles can interact with. To do this, assign one or more colliders to the colliders list property. To increase the number of colliders, hit plus. To remove a collider from the list, select the collider and click remove. So in update, I could do, I think, for each, is it component C in particle system dot trigger dot So is the collider list not accessible from at runtime? Oh, well, I could do this. Right, so while particle system dot trigger dot collider count is greater than 0. Particle system dot trigger dot remove collider, and yeah, and just remove index 0. So that should shrink it down to nothing. And then for each targetable target in. That would be so horrible. It would be really slow. Unless I did that in start. I don't have to remove anything. But then that would make it so that I couldn't add any new zombies that spawn. Are they zombies or are they environment.all zombies? Oh, I need this. Zombie. And then particle system trigger add. I can't just add the zombie, can I? Get component. Okay. So is collider disabled? No. Trigger is enabled. Let's see what happens here. It's got to run like crap. It detected the zombies. Okay. I can make it better. I think there's no way really to peek at the actual colliders though, which is sad. Not that I see. Accessing particles with on particle trigger. Particle physics extensions, blah, 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 blah. How do I Yeah, okay, well. Interact with multiple colliders, okay. get collider count I, because that's a particle. There's no list of colliders. PS trigger get collider 0. Why is there a thing there? If inside that, okay, yeah. Because this is the particle, this is the collider of that particle, which it can collide with multiple things. And if it's equal to this, then we do that. So it does only give me the collider. It doesn't give me the object back. So I wonder if I have a way of going from the collider back to the game object. If I do this, is that gonna work? Oh, it is. So can I say, this is gonna be sweet if true. If particle system particle P equals inside I. How do I get the collider then? Particle system set trigger particles. Why do I have this when I'm just getting it? What if I don't do that? Okay, so I don't understand what the set does. Okay, so I need to, if inside data, get collider count is 1, else if it's 2, what is inside data? I don't see it. Oh, it's up here. That's in the get, and then, okay, that's the insides. Got it. Get collider count is 1. Doesn't matter. So that's virtually this. Well, not. It's that. Num inside. So I have inside. Theirs is inside data. I can rename it. Get collider I0. Okay, so var collider equals inside. Oh, wait. Get collider I0. Oh, I see. So let's change that to inside data, just so it goes with this example. Inside data. I don't know why I'm setting it, so let's do that. And then, can I for each or okay. It's just num inside. Num inside is that, and I think I did something similar. Yep. So now, I don't think I need that, but I do need if inside data get collider count I if, and it would never be 0. That's funny. Inside data dot which collider is it? Is it the particle collider? Equals PS trigger get collider 0. Inside data get collider count I equals 2. Do that. So let's do if inside data dot how come I don't have that? Invert if does not contain a definition for get collider count. Are you kidding me? Get trigger particles. Get trigger particles. Oh. This is a completely different thing. So inside is what? It's just a new... It's just a new list. Oh. System collections generic list inside. It has to be a thing. So I wonder if I have to say, is it a component or is it an object? Cannot convert object to system collections generic list. Oh, here we go. Stop. Unity engine particle system particle. So can I just say particle? I can say particle system dot particle. Okay, so that's a list of particles. And this is another thing. Whatever that is. So back to this. If inside data get collider I, which is the number of things inside, and then this 0, whatever this is the collider count, equals PS trigger get collider. So can I say if inside data get collider I is zombie. I might be doing that wrong, but particle index collider index. So how do I get the count of the colliders in the particle? And what is... That's a list of particles. Then what is this? Can I use the is keyword to assign a variable at the same time? Let me copy this. Can this assign a ASS GN a variable at the same time like a try get component? Yes. Only check this type. And then, oh, okay. Sweet zombie. And now I just need the damage type from the gun. Flamethrower. What is this? I is less than. I want to get the damage type. Box size, from position, spread. So this is all in like the collision detection for from like the machine gun ray casting, and I'm not going to do that. In the flame. So we'll say zombie. So that does kind of mean that the barrels need to be registered too in order to pick them up. Owner. Do I add the owner here? Because it is here on the particle system. So do I just say parent.get? Oh, no. Yes. So does the gun script have the owner? It does. Okay. So I'll store that here. Survivor owner. And then owner equals transform.parent.get component gun. Dot owner. Source position is transformed. That's quite all right. All right, so zombies should die when they come in contact with the flame. Cool. I'm going to change the radius like it suggested. And change that like 05 maybe. Don't need it to be that powerful. Yeah, maybe not even that, because that's a lot of DPS. Okay, now in the prefab zombie, so the zombie should have should it be in the base zombie class? No. I'll put it in the, well, this is regular zombie anyway, so yes. Hurting, sprite animations. So this is going to be a header, burn, public game object, burned zombie prefab, and then I'm going to take damage. Okay. If health is less than 0, if damage type is explosion, else. So here, else if damage type is damage taken dot damage type is damage type dot fire, then we go to environment dot unregister zombie, this destroy game object, and I think before I do that I still need to instantiate, say game object go equals instantiate exploded body prefab, burned zombie prefab, go.transform.position equals transform.position. Destroy that. And we're done. Oh, I gotta assign it in the thing. Okay, get back here. Okay, I need the burnt. Mister, come here. Okay, and then you can go away. And then you, all the way down here somewhere, burned. You get that. And now, instead of dying, they will turn into the burnt zombie. Quickly now. Yes. However, I need to apply more damage. Maybe that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I hit play. Then screen record. Oh, wait, stop. I didn't do a screen record, I did a screen grab. Okay, so this is, let's trim to about here. And then save. Save. Okay, I'm gonna make a GIF and then I'm gonna call it a night. So I will talk to y'all tomorrow. It's only Tuesday, guys.